Hello, everybody. So today's main topic is Facebook Intermediate, as I mentioned, and we're going to look at the actual Facebook algorithm and how it works for you and your business, and what are the things that you can do to make sure that you're maximizing every opportunity you can with this Facebook algorithm. So we had a lot of questions, pre-registered questions, and as I mentioned in previous sessions, the algorithm question kept coming up. So I thought, well, let's do a session on it today. So here we go. So basically, the latest algorithm is Facebook's come out, and it's the VP of Facebook. I think he's from Newsfeed Management, would you believe it? There's someone who actually is the VP of that. And they have basically said, and no short term is to say that show stories that matter to users. So that's what it comes down to, and that's what people are being shown into their news feed. So even though that's a very short explanation of what the algorithm is, there's actually a little bit of detail around it. So there are 4 factors concerned within the Facebook algorithm, and these 4 I'll go into a little bit deeper for you. So the first one's your inventory. So we're talking about here the actual the content that people are seeing. Sorry, yes, it is. So it's all of the content that they are seeing, regardless of who it's from, where it's originating from, if it's from a friend or a family member, or from business pages like ourselves. So it's all of the inventory across the board. That's the first factor that's involved in the algorithm for us today. So just to sort of touch base very quickly here is with the inventory, there are some other factors involved when we talk about the inventory, but at the moment, as we all know, Facebook's algorithm is actually favoring the content that is video. So if you are looking at doing live video or just normal video for that matter, the algorithm's already watching for that and already gearing up for that. So if you're doing video, you've already ticked that box straight away. So it's a great one to have. Now, if one of the things that is definitely penalizing at this point is clickbait or spam or misleading information. So, or something that doesn't actually even look right from the beginning. So it's already got a plus for video and a definite negative for clickbait and spam and so forth. So just be aware of those 2 factors that are involved as well. All right, the second one is signals. So when I'm talking about signals, this is what basically is, it's about what Facebook post is, what everything is, and we'll get into this a little bit more. Then we've got predictions, and then we've got relevancy score. So they are the 4 factors involved with the Facebook algorithm this year. And this is what they've been telling us to do at the moment. So just excuse me for a minute. My eye has decided to play up. Okay. So from here, let's look at them a little bit deeper. So as I said, the inventory is all content available that's displaying in someone's news feed. So this is everything. So it's got everything to do with everything you post, everything that the person actually posts as a family, as a friend, or anything like that. It's all of the inventory itself. So now with the signals, so this one is the only one you have control of. So in other words, it's your post. So this is the only part of the factor of these 4 factors that you've got anything that you can do with it in any regard with Facebook. And I'll go into this a little bit more in a minute as well. But this is basically, these signals is telling Facebook what each post actually is. So what is it? Is it a video? Is it a photo? Is it text? Is it a link? It's actually looking for that particular piece of content. So that actual post. So as I said, this is the only thing that you have control of. So this is really important to remember. And as I said, I'll come back to this in a moment. The next one is the predictions. So this is how we as the person react to these posts. So what is it that I'm doing with these posts? So is it, and it's also looking at, if I'm liking it, if I'm sharing it, if I'm commenting against it. So it's looking at all those predictions. It's actually going, right, what is this person doing with this particular post? Okay. And then the last one is the relevancy score. So this is the final piece. This is the final score that's related to the whole algorithm, and it will determine what happens with it, really. So this is the final piece. So this is what it comes down to, and it goes, right, you've given me a piece of content that is a video. It's given me a signal of, you've got a 10-second video, a 3-second video, or whatever the case may be. The prediction is I've had 50,000 views, I've had 500 likes, I've had comments galore, or whatever the case may be. So it looks at all the 3 preceding factors, and it gives it an overall relevancy score, or a final score. So basically, the posts that you put out there that have the highest score will be the ones that will be put into people's feed. So this is where your engagement is really important on your posts. And we've had sessions on this before about what to post and when to post and scheduling and all that sort of thing. And we've talked about all this, but this is bringing it all into one nice little package now. So this is what the algorithms are looking for. So now with your signals, I mentioned before that this is the only part of the 4 factors in the algorithm that you have any control of, okay? So because it's your post, basically. So these signals can be passive, or they can be active signals that actually Facebook are looking for. So when we're talking passive, we're looking at the view time, the story type, the time that it's posted, anything else to do with the actual post itself. So they're things we sort of don't have control of, but we can to a point, because we know when we're going to post it and so forth. But then the part that we really want to be involved in is obviously the signals that are active. Now, these signals are your likes, your shares, and your comments on each post. So even though we can't physically say to someone, go like or comment on our post, what the algorithm is looking for is actually looking for that interaction. So as you can see, the more you get the active signals, the better off your placing or rankings going to appear on the news feed or into individuals' news feeds. So really important to have these signals in ready to place. There you're probably sitting there going, okay, well, that's all well and good, but how do I actually get people to like, comment, and share? And it really comes down to the content that you're providing at the end of the day. So that's exactly what we have talked about in the past in other sessions. And today I will give you some 5 best practices to actually make this happen for you and to get these algorithms really working for you. So the first one is be a conversation starter. So give people posts and content and so forth that will start them to talk about it. So where they will interact as a comment, or they will share it, or they'll tag someone in it and say, hey, take a look at this, or whatever the case may be. Be that starter, be the person who's actually, or be the post that you're putting out there that is doing that for you, so that you're getting that algorithm already in play and working for you straight away. Then the next one is to focus on your audience. And I think I've said this nearly at every Facebook session that I've done over the last couple of months or so. Use or send out content that is relevant to your audience. Just because you've seen a cat video and that cat video is getting some great engagement doesn't mean it's going to work for your page. It needs to be something that is relevant and on topic for you, okay? And there are ways that you can send that information out that makes it more interesting for people to grab a hold on to and comment and share and so forth. So make sure the relevancy is there, because these algorithms are picking up on this. Remember I said to you earlier that if you're misleading or giving spam content or something that goes totally against what the algorithm wants you to do, it's not going to work in your favor, okay? The next one is, this is one that's actually suggested by Facebook, and of course it is because it's ads, It's suggesting that the algorithm will help better if you put some ad dollars behind content that's already got an organic momentum. So basically, let's just say, for instance, you have a post that's already getting some great engagement with comments and likes and shares. So they are suggesting to put a couple of extra bucks behind it and really push it even further. Now, when you think about it, that actually makes sense. You're getting to your audience now, but if you want to get to a whole new audience and get your message out there even further, then pushing it out there in a boosted post or an ad is quite well worth it. And you don't have to spend a lot of money to do it either. And of course, it depends on the type of business that you're in. There's a few other things that will play here, and we have done some ad sessions for you in this space. So I would definitely go and have a look at some of those YouTube videos that we've already done in the ad space, so you can see the bigger picture around ads. Next one we've talked about is avoiding clickbait. So that's not just posting things that say, that was a big thing that Facebook shut down. I think it was last year or the year before, and they've really even honed in a lot more lately, especially with news media and all the bans that we had over the last couple of weeks. So what they're saying here is don't put out a post that says, and leads them to a website or something like that, but it's totally clickbait. It's pushing them somewhere that it's not relevant to you or the business or what you're actually talking about. Now, the other part here is when they also say avoid clickbait is be very careful when you're telling people in your captions to like our post or share our post or tag a friend, for instance. That is considered also clickbait because you're telling people to do something. So organically is what we want. So your content needs to be really entertaining, or giving me something that I need to know about for me to just organically like, comment, or share on your post and not be told to do it. So be very, very careful with this clickbait side of things, because this is the one part of the algorithm that could stop you. And where this happens a lot, I've seen, is when someone does a competition and they tell you in the caption to like and share or tag someone to enter. Big no. The algorithms will not like you, and it goes against Facebook's guidelines as well when you're holding a promotion. I did do a session on holding competitions promotions a little while ago, but it's all on YouTube. So go and check that out, because if you are doing competitions and that's what you're doing, I would urge you to stop saying that right now in your captions, because it will go against you without a doubt. Okay, and the last one is you should be tracking your content performance. So again, we did a session on insights and so forth and monitoring your performance, but very quickly, go and watch it. If you're not looking at your content very closely now and making sure that it is getting the engagement that's needed, then you need to start doing it. It's definitely something that has to happen, and it's definitely something that you will then learn what is working and what's not, and you can stop it if it's not working, or if it's still working, then you can just keep going with that particular content idea or theme, for instance. So definitely track your performance. It's a big one as part of all of this. So they're the 5 things that you can do to really help that algorithm make sure that your content and your post, what you're doing on your page, is working. And you have this down. If you do these few things, your post, you will find, and organically, mind you, you will start to see the engagement rise, and you will start to see things happen with your page. So you'll get more engagement and you'll get more followers basically at the end of the day. So they're the 5 best practices when it comes to the algorithm with Facebook. So from here, what I'd love you to do is go and do a little mini audit on the content that you've already done. So go back to last week's content, have a look at the engagement, have a look at what's happened to it. Has it had some good feedback? Has it had comments and shares and so forth? So remember those signals. So look for those signals on those posts. Okay, so signals is just a fancy word for your engagement, basically, and that's what Facebook uses. Have a look at those. if you're not getting the engagement, what can you do better? What improvements can you make on those posts? Is it something, maybe it's a visual side of things? Is it the caption? Maybe it needs to be looked at. What is it that you could do for next time? So look at last week, and then moving forward, look at what you're doing for next week, and can you improve it so that you are getting these algorithms working the best they can. And then, of course, we want to know about it. Let us know, because we love to hear when things are working or if they're not. If you've seen a change in your engagement and so forth, let us know, because we'd love to know. The feedback for us is just as important for us as it is for you. So please keep us informed, because the more that we can understand how it is going for you, the better off it is for us as well. All right, so that's the Facebook algorithms, and that's basically, very quickly, to put it in a nutshell, how they work. So thank you, everybody, for having me in your Zoom room today. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you next week in the last couple of sessions that I have. Thanks, everybody. Bye.